Vito took a look at Lions on SI, and many people are asking, do the Lions have rivals? Because of the fast nature of turnovers in terms of the roster, people are wondering, do the Lions actually have somebody that you hate or have disdain for? And I do think they do. I do believe that the Detroit Lions have rivals, and he ranked them. I rank them a little bit differently. Go check out Vito's rankings at Lions on SI. He has the Packers being the Lions' biggest rival. To me, I think the Bears right now are the Lions' biggest rival. Fans are, anytime you bring up Ben Johnson, there's disgust, there's frustration. We want to see the Lions destroy the Chicago Bears. People want to see the Bears fall on their face. We all took glee in reading that Caleb Williams and his family were just trying to find any kind of way to get out of Chicago, the place where quarterbacks go to die. Now, that's really, relatively speaking, to the Eberflus era and what was going on there. Now, Ben Johnson's tasked with kind of reshaping the culture and changing. But I do think the Bears right now are the Lions' biggest rival. But I also want to see the Lions really get revenge on the Commanders for what they did to the Lions in eliminating them. The Eagles, the supremacy of the NFC is at stake when the two face off at Lincoln Financial Field. I do think that game is going to be marquee, hyped up to a degree. At the same time, too, there's also a rivalry with the Rams because of Matthew Stafford, the Lions being, quite successful against the Rams in the postseason and to start the year in 2024. Many people like seeing Matthew Stafford struggle. They like to see the Rams. And because of the fact also, too, that Brad Holmes came from the Rams organization, I do think there's a growing rivalry there. The Lions are going to this year travel to SoFi, whereas the last couple of meetings have taken place at Ford Field. So the Lions have rivals. I think that there's games that are going to draw a lot of attention and be quite popular. Who do you think is the Lions' biggest rival?
Well, I think that all those answers that you laid out are good. When I was growing up, obviously grew up in Michigan, grew up watching the Lions. The first team that was really installed to me as the Lions rival was the Green Bay Packers. That's kind of how I was raised, was the Packers are the number one rivals. But let me try to pitch you on the Vikings for a second here, because Minnesota and the Lions have played in a ton of consequential games, particularly over the last 3 years, really since Kevin O'Connell and Dan Campbell have started going at it. I mean, look back at some of the history. That I believe it was week 15 in the 2022 season when the Lions were on that win streak, and they ended up finishing the year with a winning record. When you look at how that game played out, the Vikings were coming to Detroit to try and win the division. The Lions beat them. Minnesota ends up winning the division, but the Lions didn't let it happen on their home turf. And that was kind of the start of it. You move into 2023. Where did the Lions clinch the division title? In Minnesota. Where did they clinch the division title last season? At home against Minnesota in primetime with the black uniforms on, a dominant 31-9 performance. And the Minnesota Vikings have the star power, right? They have the Justin Jefferson, who's always a tough cover for the Lions defense, who's given them a bunch of trouble during his career. They have Jordan Addison. They have former Lion, TJ Hawkinson, who after he was traded made those comments about, well, now I'm finally going to get a chance to go win some games, right? Or something to that extent after he got traded in 2022. Now they've got the young rookie, or not the rookie, but the upstart newcomer quarterback as well. So that to me has all the signs of a budding rivalry. And now this year they're going to play in week 9 and they're going to play on Christmas in Minnesota. So they played a ton of consequential games over the last several years. And now they're going to have the opportunity to likely play a couple more. That week 17 game on Christmas could be for the division. Who knows? And if that's the case, we'll be having the same conversation. But I like Minnesota as the best NFC North division rival for the Lions. And I think right now the Lions are in prime position to take them down for the division title. But who knows? That is going to be such an exciting battle down the stretch. I cannot wait.